Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with T25. A couple of weeks ago, while taking a break from grinding the German tanks, I played the T25 too, and I had a bunch of good games in it. And I noticed at the end of those games that my damage standing had reached almost to 90%, and I thought, okay, perhaps third mark of excellence is on this tank. So I swapped out the medkit for 105 octane oil because I thought it might improve the speed, and particularly the response times of the tank on from standing start to movement, and it improves the turret rotations. So I might be able to, with the cola, get a little bit extra out of the tank to get the third mark in it. Now, I'm not going to quit the German grind and just exclusively try and grind out a mark in this tank. I'm just going to take a break from the German grind every now and again and see if I can push up the numbers. I've already been up and down from the 91 or the edge of the 91% back down to the 88% a couple of times already. So I'm taking a more relaxed approach, and I believe I can do it. I mean, I've already 3-marked the tank, and at that point in time I didn't know if I could actually 3-mark a tank. So I'm willing to put the work in, but I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But I will sort of record the good games, the highlight games in my progress, and we'll see. I mean, we'll give it a number of games and see how we get on. If we can keep improving, even if we go up and down, as long as we can keep incrementing back up, I'll be happy to continue trying for the third mark of excellence. So I've taken a position here in the center of this map. Now it's encounter mode, but even in the regular map, this is actually a good position to take. Biggest problem with it is that it's pretty much out in the open. If you're spotted, you're going to have to move pretty lightly because the nearest cover is actually quite a bit away now. And we have been getting a few hits, but we've actually been getting as much spotting as we've been doing, or probably more spotting, than we've actually been doing damage ourselves, because quite a lot of the tanks that we're spotting are very marginal from my perspective of shooting. Now, I really should have tried to track the ONE there. That was a big mistake on my part, because that would have been a very valuable contribution if I'd managed to track it. In fact, this is one of the things that I'm going to have to keep reminding myself when I'm playing the T25 2 now, is to remember to track stuff more often. I have gotten into the habit of tracking stuff more since my last attempt to get a third mark on a tank. But assisted damage from tracking is actually very valuable, particularly when you're looking for a third mark. And it's generally a good thing to do anyway, so getting into the habit of tracking tanks makes it easier for yourself and anybody else to subsequently farm damage on those tanks. If nothing else, you force them to burn off their repair kits. There were just over 3 minutes into the game. We've spotted 6 tanks and we've 11 assistance damage ribbons already, as well as managing 5 damaging ribbons of our own. But it is really the assisted damage and the tracking damage that pushes you, I think, over the limit for a third mark, because doing it completely off your own damage is generally very difficult. Now we're reaching the point though where there aren't actually a lot of enemy tanks left, so the question now is, where is the enemy team focused? We finish off the ONE, and that's our second kill, and there are a few tanks over there, so I think it's time to vacate this location. There's no point in heading in towards the cap circle. Besides, anyway, I want to get some farm damage done. I think that heavy tank over here on the eastern edge of the map on our side, the heavy tank number 6, is in a bit of trouble, and I could usefully assist him and probably pick up some damage at the time. He is being targeted by a snake bite, and I think it's another tiger. So I come around the corner, and here's the snake bite, and he drives in front of me, and we managed to snap him. and take him out of the game. And here's a hammer facing off against the heavy tank number 6, and we've put a round into the hammer. And we should be able to put a second round in. If we didn't crash into the rocks, we would have actually done it by now, I think. The heavy tank number 6 has been taken out of it, but we're going to take the hammer, I think. While he's attempting to reload it, here is the gorilla. There isn't much left of him, and that's the last tank on the team, actually. We don't even get a chance to fire at the artillery. So we finish up with 12 damaging ribbons, and 12 assisted damage ribbons, and 10 damaging ribbons of our own. So that nets us a nice bundle of experience. All the premium consumables is really knocking the money making out of this. So we managed 3k combined damage here and a first class mastery. And that brings us back up to 89%. Where we'd fallen quite low down, and we're number 1 by experience. And we can see the details of our combat here. So I'm definitely going to keep this up and keep you informed as to how things are going. And as you can see, the enemy team were pretty poor. A lot of 0 damage on that enemy team. So I hope you found the video interesting. If you do, please consider giving it a like and the channel a subscription if you haven't already. And I'll catch you again soon.